Hello from Safonova. This is a podcast Pigeon of Peace where we do discuss awesome skills of troubleshooters. Watch, listen, and check the description below for the details. Let's talk about deepfakes and let's start with definition.
Deepfakes comes from the blackmail. Sometimes people will get the letter, and inside of it, it would be forgery photos, which make, for example, with their heads, but another people's body. But then it starts to go to the internet, to the computer technologies, and people start to put voices to the video and mouses, which talks very similar to people we know. And if you will just cut some phrases and if you will merge them together, you will completely искажать, divert,
Distort.
distort the meaning of the words, and sometimes it would be used to convince some people in social engineering. For example, what will happen if president of the country would say that, okay, from tomorrow our money bills wouldn't work. People would start to panic, and people who know that this is not true could make a fortune. So deepfakes is very dangerous things. For example, you will have a video call from your boss or audio message that would say, okay, you should make some in behalf of somebody. For example, move a huge amount of money. And yes, you will see, okay, it's looking quite unusual, but yes, it's my boss, so I should do this. And then it would be investigation, and you will be pointed that there is some small pieces which doesn't work, and they indicate that this was not your boss. But anyway, it's very dangerous. And deepfakes several years ago were put in the highest level of danger, even for the states.
Well, it's funny enough that in all of the jobs that I was working with, we always had like this called like a CEO scam when, like you get your message very similar to your CEO who would ask about some ridiculous stuff in some ridiculous time. And when we're speaking about the technology itself, given that, it's so advanced in, for example, all of the scam people or maybe all just not the good people can actually run it on their computer. So again, we probably would speak about the preventive measures, given that, let's say, if I want to, make a joke or, like be malicious, I probably can do it relatively easy with some, tricks. So how about technology? And I'm not speaking about people yet, like that could actually help to identify that this thing is not real.
It was a time when all deepfakes were looking attentively eye into your eye, so the eyes were very distinctive. But then people realized that it was a mistake, and nowadays deepfakes could rotate eyes as usual people. And yes, sometimes you could understand that it is a deepfake because it has a very low quality, because every second needs to be processed like 18,000 times, so it is very expensive to make rendering on the computers, and it will cost you a lot. And if you're, for example, fraudster, and you want to send like 1,000 short movies, reels, or something like this to different people, you will need a so-called computer farm to make those videos. So sometimes you will reduce quality because it's like going to fish hunt. I don't know how to say, рыбалка, to fishing, go to fishing,
Fishing.
the fishing.
Yes. And sometimes deepfake not only comes with the visual part, but there is also could be different aspects. The easiest one to talk about is the voice, because, all of us will have the voice, in giving that, like in a certain period of time, there could be systems that could actually learn how do we speak, like is there any specific phrases that we say, or maybe is there specific flaws or defects that our speech has. So probably deep voices also could be like helping, and I'm putting this in the emphasis, like helping to the deep fakes to be more persuasive. So again, like speaking of the systems that both help them to be better and other systems like that to defend out of them. So how is the situation with the voice here?
Voice, it's much easier to forge because it's just one kind of media, and there is a lot of LLMs right today which could convert any kind of message which was written down to your voice, which is very similar to yours, in 5 second sample. So it's happening just like several months ago. We write this down like in the middle of the January 2026. So is that just happened? It was created by Microsoft previously. You will need like 2 hours samples. So it is quite easy to make this from our podcasts because we already have such amount of recorded time. But when you're talking just with usual people, you will switch on your dictaphone on the smartphone and then just until it would accumulate several dozen minutes of the speaking, and then you could create. And the more minutes you have, the more similar voice would be to the original. But after like 30 to 40 minutes, there is no difference. After this time, the quality wouldn't rise.
Well, I will probably keep on expanding on the topics like what could be fake. It also could be the context, because let's say if there is someone or something that wants to deliver the message, there is also will be an interaction, like certain questions, certain, like phrases or whatever. So again, like how to develop the deep context, because this could be like much broader, and the context could be like from the social life, from the specific things that no one could know, or vice versa. It could be not like the context, but ability to avoid certain or maybe not like a dangerous questions. So again, like on both sides, how to make sure that, like we know that the person has the right context, and from another side, like how to make sure that, like this context holds.
I have a huge telephone book, so sometime I need to check if this a real voice message or not. And usually I avoid to listen those messages, but some clients make them because of their oldness, so I couldn't resist. In this case, we have like a passwords, and I would sell some symbols, and for example, like dollar with plus or euro with minus or something like this, and then I would get something in return, and then I will realize is it okay or not. So this communication should be established with a trustship, and trustship should be gained with a special routine. Without it, never believe to something. For example, you will get a call and your relative would say, okay, I just have a car accident and I should pay some amount of money to police. In other case, I would go to the jail. And sometimes the voice wouldn't be quite familiar because people were prepared, and they also give a noise on background, which is looking like that they stay close to the roads and engine roars and I don't know, some people shouting. So it is very it is like to be going live, but it is not. So passwords or something like this is very important. And even with my daughter, I have a special signal. And if it would be a request from her, but no special signal, I wouldn't react.
Well, yeah, and sometimes I do believe there's also could be another signals for the fake request or something like that. There could be like a box inside of the box, which is inside of the box. And probably another thing which is related to the deep face could be deep channel, because let's say if I would, like get the link from someone from somewhere, I'm probably not gonna trust it, whatever, how regardless how convincing it is. Or let's say maybe in Skype or maybe in Teams or maybe with a phone number, I get someone who I already trust, probably the conversation would go in more or less, I would say, like a positive key. So whether, like generating this and vice versa, protecting against this and maybe even doubting also could be the case. Because again, like for one more time, what I started do in the recent times, like wherever there is a link, I would try to think of it as it's like, it's some sort of like a threat. It's already fake. So try to, like come up with a different ways. Why should I not open? So whether deep channeling, let's call it like this, for the sake of the video, is applicable for the deep face, for the deep faces.
Usually, well, when you will talk with people often, you will know their behavior, how they talk and what they think. For example, there were several calls from different people, and they were made by Telegram. And I saw that this profile was changing the photo like several days prior, so I could understand that this may be not true. Second, you should check if there is a telephone number, because especially in Telegram, it would be like a nickname, but without phone number. So you will be seeing photo, but this photo is put not by your phone because of your address book, but it was given by the messenger. Third, you should expect to people be somewhere, for example, at the job, and you know how their workplace look. And for example, they are on the walk with, I don't know, nursery cabin, детская коляска.
Or a stroller.
Stroller, yes, stroller. You told me before. Thank you. Stroller. So if there would be very strange weather, very strange time, and very strange location, then you should understand that something is going wrong. And in this case, you will refer to the past. For example, okay, Maxim, could you tell me where we drink that good tea with berries you like a lot?
And yeah, sometimes, like when we speak about all of the deepfakes, it seems, okay, it's like offensive tool, but we also could look at it into it, how to use it in our lives. For example, let's say if there's like a relative pass, or if we miss someone, probably there could be models, I don't know, or mannequins or whatever that actually could, like totally replicate all of these things. For example, let's say this is our grandma calling, and maybe, like she is aware that something is going on in our life. And again, like she is already might be out of there, but yet there's could be her voice, her thoughts, and at least, like it, again, if we're not like completely out of our mind, it could be at least like a heartwarming communication. So whether this thing could exist, and maybe it will have a place in the future too.
Yes, sometime it would be. But also let's imagine what's happening if you want to give a message after life. For example, you have a small boy, a girl, and you are dying, and you are very sad and thinking, okay, maybe I should pass them a message through the years. And right now it would be quite possible. You just record yourself on smartphone, and then you will send it in a delayed mode, and the person would have this email long after you died. But who knows if there is a request inside, is it true or not? So you should create some anchors to make people believe you, not just to wait them believe just because you are looking familiar or sounds familiar.
And then my last question will be how knowing about deepfakes would help to make this world a better place.
In Russia right now, there is several jokes about this case. A lot of old ladies give to the fraudster a large sum of money, but it never be heard that it was made by old men. So just old ladies have those money. But this is for sure a joke. You should understand that sometime your old relatives would will be put in position to believe to someone or not, and this would be about disasters like firing the home or losing a job. So you should be very attentive, and you should talk to your people to make them understand that not everything which is going to be visible as dark is a real dark.
So we reviewed the skill of deepfakes and how it could be helpful for you. Stay in peace.